that Dante saw Beatrice when she was 9 years old, and that was it, the whole universe, I believe totally. Makes entire sense to me. That the Greek word is anagnorisis, strange word, the shock of recognition. The comet light, the flash, the sunlight in your body and everything. This is it. It happens around a street corner. You enter a shop and see someone, a shadow on a wall. Does it happen twice? We don't really know. Plato, Dante, Proust, some of the ultimate masters of the meditation on Eros suggest it happens only once, and that our later love experiences are a compromise, a mimesis, an imitatio, an attempt to recapture it. Other men say, no, the great love of my life came very late, was totally different from my youth. I've been immensely fortunate, fortunate beyond words, in that these moments, epiphanies, Joyce's great word, epiphany, when the light shines through life, have left me not with a sense of utter regret. Because, for instance, with that first young woman, there never was a relationship. She thought quite rightly that I was a ridiculous goose. And a number of times in my life, it's been only a moment. Each one of them has built, I believe, towards my marriage with a very remarkable woman. We've now been together 45 years. And with the acceptance of a seemingly dark word, allow me a few moments because we're touching on something very central. One of the sayings that guides my life is by the great poet Rilke. Rilke says, when there has been a deeply happy love, later on, one becomes the loving guardian of the other's solitude. A word of such depths. Eros does not last forever. Passion does not last forever. I believe, again, contra the incredible Freudian exaggerations, that sexuality, powerful, wonderful, miraculous, is only one of many fundamental forces, and for many human beings, not the most important, but to become the loving guardian of the other's solitude. You move into friendship. Love moves into supreme friendship. And it may be that friendship is finally more important than love. Montaigne said this. It's one of the great taboos in our culture. The Greeks knew this. There are moments in Keats's letters when he says it. Very few have dared say it. The sacredness of friendship, the inviolate elective affinity, Wahlverwandtschaften. What does Montaigne say about La Boétie? It's because he's he and I am I. There's no explanation. That great definition of friendship can be between a man and a woman. And if a marriage flows into friendship, one has been blessed beyond words. Then the early epiphanies have flourished, matured into something enduring. I cannot imagine my existence without being in love in a certain sense. That is to say, I associate love with the future tense. Nothing mystical in this. Please let me argue for its simplicity, for its concrete meaning. Nothing mystical. We don't know whether animals have a future tense of the verb. Tomorrow. We do. We can do something which is unbelievable. Astronomers speak about 1 billion years from now and give exact predictions. You and I can speak about the Monday morning after our funeral. What kind of day will it be? What will be the restaurant menu, the plat du jour? What will be going on in the politics of the Labour Party and so on?
Who will talk about us, yeah.
Who will talk about us? The future tense. To be in love is to have a future tense. Is to think that things have a meaning tomorrow, that you are moving towards another human identity, a real presence, and that what you think, what you do, when you brush your teeth in the morning in love, it's rather different. there is a wonderful poem by Robert Graves. And to explain to our viewers, we come back to Homer. One always comes back to Homer. The great 18th century English translator, Pope, did a wonderful Homer, but a little stiff. And what English children love are nonsense rhymes by Edward Lear, the Jumblies and the Wumblies and all them. And this little poem says, we learned Pope's Iliad by rote, which means by drill, by school drill. We learned Lear's nonsense rhymes by heart. O children, learn to tell these two apart, and never say that aught I wrote in love, I wrote only for love of art. And that says it. What you write in love, you have learned like the nonsense rhymes. It changes the world. I can imagine that there are great abstract powers of mind. Wittgenstein would come to mind, Descartes certainly, Aristotle, for whom this is not true. For whom a certain solitude is the absolute condition of systematically going to the deep, deep, deep places of recognition. Are they enviable? I don't know. I can't imagine myself into their lonely shoes. And I do admire people who are not afraid of being alone, very much. They again have a reinsurance against disaster. Nothing can touch them. And there are really people, Pascal is another one, who say unless you can sit totally alone in an empty room, you haven't become a mature, complete human being. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I wait for the knock on the door when I'm in that room. And I know that to be true, and it's again the limits of one's work and the limits of one's understanding. But when that knock comes, again and again in my life, I've heard the footfall on the stairs of the beloved before she had entered the house, and that is a true experience. There is a projective passion when the feet are coming closer. And Dante knew all about that. Great art knows all about that. Music knows all about that. And yes, it makes one extremely vulnerable, extremely. But I love keeping that wound open.